Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. So today I have decided that I was going to do a get to know me tag, which is something that I haven't done before, but I figured it's kind of fun, something fun to do. Let me move that here. So I've got like a whole list of a bunch of questions here. We're not going to go through all of them because I think there's like 400 and something here. So I'm just going to go through and pick the ones that I feel like answering. So let's get started. So the first one is, what is your full name? So my full name is Teresa Marie Wilson, and it doesn't really, I don't think it has a meaning, but I mean, Teresa, if you spell it Teresa, means harvester, but mine is spelled differently, so I don't know if it has a meaning. Let's look it up. Yeah, Teresa means to reap or to gather in, so they figure it's the same thing if you spell it the way I do. Which, alright, makes sense. The next one is, are you named after anyone? I am named after my Nana. She passed away a year before I was born, so my mom and my dad named me after her. So where are you from? I was born and raised in Prince George. I'm still in Prince George, so I guess I am born and raised would be the right way to say that. So I still live in Prince George right now, but chances are I may be moving soon. Where were you born? Born in Prince George. Where'd you grow up? Born and raised in Prince George. So, which of your parents are you closest to? I am closest to my mom, only because, and that goes along with this next one, which of your parents are you more like? I am so much like my dad that we butt heads so much that I am closest to my mom. But I mean, he's my dad. I still love him, so it's not like it's a bad thing. But yeah. Are your grandparents still married? Both my grandparents were still married. My Opa passed away in 2010, so that was my dad's dad. So they were still married up until that point. What do you call your grandparents? So my dad's mom and dad are Oma and Opa. My mom's mom and dad are Grandma and Grandpa. My Oma is Dutch, so the Dutch, German, etc. way of saying grandparents is Oma and Opa. So that's why we did that. What is your biggest fear? Heights, probably. I can't even go like 3 stairs up a ladder, so chances are heights is my biggest fear. What is your eye color? So my eye color changes depending on what I'm wearing. If I wear like a yellow or orange or colors like that, it tends to be more yellowy. On my driver's license it says hazel, but they can be gray one day, they can be brown one day, so it changes pretty regularly. What is your favorite color? I don't really have a favorite color. I used to, but now it's more so I just like wearing black. So maybe black's my favorite color. My favorite quote is actually on my Facebook account. Like I have it as my favorite quote, so I'll grab it here. I don't remember the exact words, so see if I can find it on here. Because the exact words always confuse me, so I always just look it up. It's just easier. I don't know if I can find it. Chances are I won't be able to. Let's just look it up. I know it's a Marilyn Monroe quote, and I know like what it is, so I'm just gonna look it up real quick. If I can't find it, I'll just put it in the description below. It's something along the lines of, for life, it's a life quote, I know that, and it's, now it's gonna bug me because I'm not gonna be able to find it. Oh, I might have just found it. Maybe not. Okay, so I will just put it in the description box below because I'll find it later. Because it's just going to take too long for me to try and find it. Favorite way to pass the time. So I am a big reader. So I have a ton of books. Some would say too many books. But yeah, so I am a very big reader. So if I have time during the day, then I like to be able to read. Favorite candle scent. So it's not really a candle, but, well, I guess they do have them as candles. It's a tie between two. So they have one called Sweater Weather at Bath & Body Works, which is amazing. It smells amazing. And then they have another one called Flannel, and those two are my absolute favorites. And every time they come out, because they only come out around this time every year, so they're only like fall winter scents, so I always at least grab one. Let's see, are you a dog person or a cat person? I can't answer that because I live with my sister, and she has a cat, and then I have 2 dogs at home at my parents' house. I still consider them my dogs even though I don't live there. Are you a good cook? I think I'm a good cook because I cook a lot. I like cooking, so it's therapeutic for me, if that makes sense. So yeah, I consider myself a good cook. Pills or medication daily? I am on medication because, as I have mentioned in other videos or on blog posts, I do have depression and anxiety. So I do have to take 1 pill for that every day. And then I also have to take iron supplements because my iron is really low. So I have to take 1 pill a day for that as well. So tattoos, I do have 3 tattoos. One is on my back, which I can you might be able to see it. Oh, right there. So it's a 4-leaf clover with all of my grandparents, where they were from, kind of things. And then I've got, can't turn my arm that way, but I've got one there. And then I've got this one that I just got. Excuse me. Do you carry a donor card? I don't carry a donor card, but I am a registered organ donor. Who sent the last text message you received? I think it was my sister. I think. Because she was texting me last night. Yeah. It was last night at 6:30. Where you at, girl? Because I hadn't gotten home from work yet. What is at the top of your bucket list? Everything is at the top of my bucket list. I have a bucket list that is like a mile long, I think. because I want to travel the world, and that's the top of my bucket list. So do you have any siblings? I do have one sister, and I did a tag video with her a couple months back, so I'll link that in the description box below as well, because it was pretty funny watching us act like idiots, basically. How many pairs of shoes do you currently own? 20, I think, something like that. I have a lot of flip-flops and sandals and all that kind of stuff, so. Have you ever suffered a fracture? I have suffered a fracture. I broke my arm when I was 9. Like, you can still see a bit of the scar. That's what this is. It's scar tissue. So I had 2 pins in my arm because I broke it here at my elbow and then just below my elbow. And I broke it on a trampoline, so really, I don't like trampolines anymore. I am terrified of them, actually. Would you ever consider living abroad? Definitely. I think it would be an amazing experience, and I would really love to do it. It would just be a matter of cost and job and everything else. Flavor of tea do you enjoy? I have a tea problem. I have a cupboard full of tea, and I think my favorite one is anything coconut, apple, anything like that is usually pretty good. First movie I remember seeing, well, the one that I vividly remember is Finding Nemo, because my dad took me and my sister to it when it was in theaters. So that's the one that I really remember seeing. And then, I mean, I've watched every single Disney movie there is, so. What time do you usually get up in the morning? I'm up at 6 o'clock every morning. Yeah, every morning. Even this morning was like 6:30, I was awake. My usual bedtime, I don't really have a bedtime per se. It's more of a, I should be going to sleep now. And that's anywhere between 10 and 2 in the morning, so. First time I was allowed to put on makeup was when I turned 13, and that was my birthday present. Like, I got makeup for my birthday. And then, as you can see, I hate wearing makeup right now. Especially during the summer, because it just like melts off of your face. And it's like, why bother? Yes, it looks good for like 10 minutes, and yes, it covers like all my acne, but I mean, I'm human. I have acne. Oh well. What was the first tattoo you got? The first tattoo I got was the one on my back. That was my graduation present when I was 17. My parents got that for me. What do you dislike about living in your neighborhood? Well, right now, we live in a trailer park, and I detest living here. The only reason is because we're right in the corner lot, so we don't have a lot of space. And then next door to us is a family, and they're nice. They're nice people, but they have 2 little kids, and their yard is so full of toys that every other kid in the neighborhood is always there, and it's just loud, especially when we get home from work. It's like we just want to relax, and then there's kids over there screaming, and it's like, okay. Because I mean, trailers they're not soundproof. Like, you can hear quite a bit, so. But I mean, it's a place to sleep, it's a place to live, whatever. How often do you skip breakfast? I skip breakfast pretty daily. I hate breakfast. Breakfast is dumb. It makes me feel nauseous, so I tend not to eat it. But I mean, sometimes Sometimes if I get up and I'm awake for a while and then it's like 9:30 and then I'm like, oh, okay, well maybe I can eat breakfast now, then I'll do that, but chances are I won't eat breakfast. What you call carbonated drink? It's pop. Anybody who says otherwise is wrong. No, it's just like it's pop, or yeah, it's always been pop, I think, for me. I've never called it soda. Soda just sounds weird. Do you know how to pump your own gas? Yeah, I've never once been able to have somebody else pump my gas. Even when I was younger, my parents would make me pump the gas in the car so that I would know how to do it. Longest period you spent in the hospital? I was there overnight when I broke my arm, but when I was born, I was there for a week because I had jaundice. So I was in the NICU for a week. That's the longest I've been. Makes you proud of your father? Everything. He has worked so hard for everything that he has in his life. He has worked nonstop, even when he has tore something in his hand, so he can't use his hand as much. He's still out there working away. He is nonstop working, and he's just incredibly generous, and he's hard to get to know because he's very standoffish, if that makes sense, because he's very cautious about letting people in. And I mean, I'm the exact same way, so I totally understand that. But he's just an amazing person. And goes along with that, what makes you proud of your mom? She is an amazing person. She has had hip replacements and she's still trucking along. She was in a cast for years when she was first born because of her hips, and she still, even though she's in pain, she still goes and does stuff. They're just, even just them together as a unit it's amazing to watch how they interact or how they deal with things, because it's inspiring. What makes you wince about how you are like your father? My temper is so much like my dad's that it's funny. Really. It's when you think about it and think about what you've gotten mad about, and it's like all these dumb things, and it's like, oh my god, that's dad. How are you different from your dad? I hate being outside. Well, I guess hate is the strong word. I don't like being outside because I am allergic to a lot of stuff outside. Like, I'm allergic to dust, pollen, anything like that. So it's hard for me to, and my dad owns trucks and he owns stuff that needs to be repaired on a weekly basis or worked on a weekly basis, and I don't like doing it because that means I have to get dirty. It's just something that, it's just the way I am. I don't like doing that kind of stuff, so. Oh my goodness. If you could change one thing in the world regardless of guilt or politics, what would you do? Regardless of guilt or politics, I would get rid of every single dictator type politician. I would get rid of all guns. I would, like, it would be a total revamp of the whole system. If I could change it, regardless of guilt or anything, it would be a total revamp of the system. If you could meet one person from history or currently alive, who would it be? Oh, I don't know. Maybe one of the Bronte sisters. I love their books, so that would be really cool. Or J.K. Rowling, because I love the Harry Potter books and they were like my childhood growing up. I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's anybody else from history. I mean, I'm a big history buff, and I don't know if I can narrow it down. I would meet everybody from history. Oh, excuse me. If you could just save one, would you rather save humanity or the Earth? The Earth. Because you know what? Humanity is the reason that the Earth is dying. And I would rather save the Earth so we have something to come back to eventually rather than save humanity. When was the last time you cried? Yesterday. Only because it was my last day at work and I was feeling upset. Pick one. Free healthcare, free education. Free education. I don't mind paying for healthcare. But free education so I could go to university without paying an arm and a leg would be awesome. Pick one. iOS or Android. Android. I have the Google Pixel. I don't know. Pretty sure that's Android. But yeah. Android is always better. Pick one. Summer or winter. Probably winter just because I don't like the heat. I burn really easily, so pick one. Texting or phone calls. Texting all the way. I hate talking on the phone. Would you rather be able to play 10 different instruments beautifully or speak 10 different languages fluently? I would want to speak languages just because I have been trying so hard to learn like Italian and French and stuff that it's just, I would rather have that than play instruments just because I don't like playing instruments. Would you rather have a live-in massage therapist or a live-in chef? Massage therapist, because I can cook anyways, so it's not a bother to me to have a chef. Would you rather live in a rural area or the suburbs? Rural all the way, because I don't think I could live like this again with someone right next to me. Would you rather live in ancient Greece or ancient Rome? Why couldn't I have a house in both and just go back and forth instead? That would be cool. Would you rather not be able to go out in the daytime or not be able to go out in the nighttime? Probably daytime, just because nighttime is a lot cooler for one, and two, I wouldn't get burnt. So there we go. That's my answer to that. So we've gone through quite a bit of questions. So if you have any other questions for me that I didn't answer in this video, you can either comment below or you can go over to my Instagram or my personal Facebook, because I don't have a channel Facebook. So I'll link those down below, and then you can send me questions. I can answer you right back. Or if I get sent enough questions, I can just make another video and we'll go through all the want to know questions from everybody else. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.